Hi, I'm Kenneth Chin and I would like to welcome you to the AYA Dream Malaysia Awards. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our 6 nominees for the Most Outstanding Youth of the Year Award 2005. My team and I were really privileged to have been able to personally interview these 6 nominees. Their stories inspired us. Tonight, we hope that their stories will inspire you too as you listen to them. The first story you're going to hear tonight is about Pauline Yap. She's a 20-year-old student at Apit.
I have a lot of siblings. I have 6 siblings.
I know her family and I know that they have been through hard times. She's got a lot of siblings and her parents, her mum has retired, her dad is working.
Sometimes if I really feel I want to give up, right, I think of my father and my mother, because they are very old, Then since they have bring me up after and now I'm 20 years old, right, I know that I have to do something in return to them, So no matter how down I am, right,
just that loving spirit that goes out to reach out to people.
I will just think of them, my family members, those who love me, those who care for me.
Right.
I must return back all the things that
I don't really see her complain much. She always has that attitude of, everything's okay, everything's fine,
Especially the church member, they really support me, When I'm really down, I feel like no one is there, right? They will always be there to support me, to give me a word of encouragement.
Sometimes when I think of giving up, there comes an SMS, hey, it's from Pauline.
And they just smile at you, And then you will thinking, how come they can be so joyful, Then you will know that, okay, you can be joyful like them,
Sure.
To be successful in whatever that you do. From now on, right, as a musician, as a librarian, as a student, I just want to give my best, everything.
Her achievement is not just basically on academic qualifications and all, but more of her spirit and her attitude towards people.
What do you want to be?
Businesswoman. Like me, I know the feeling. If let's just say I have no money, right, I understand how they feel, because I've gone through. So if let's say I have a lot of money, I will definitely help others, lah. No drug addict. Everyone would be achieve freedom, Everyone is equal, Successful people are.
Sure.
To always live in hope.
Live in hope.
You
Okay.
must always find hope.
Our second nominee is Yvonne Fung, and she dreams to be an accomplished journalist one day.
Times that I spent overcoming my 3 surgeries. The whole illness itself is a major obstacle. It was very baffling, tormenting and painful. With my friends and my family.
She's been there for me even though she's the one facing the challenges.
Because they believed in me. First diagnosed, during the first few days, I did feel a bit sad. But then, soon after diagnosed, I was admitted to hospital immediately on an emergency.
Going through SPM with her sickness and so on.
There wasn't much time for me to sit down in self-pity because practicality was more important at that time.
She passed the SPM.
Every time I feel like giving up, I will know that if I do, I will be failing my friends. I tend to look for things to look forward to. Let's say at the end of this Saturday, there will be an event and I'll look forward to that event. I'll keep my mind focused on that event. And before I know it, one whole week has passed. To be an influential writer. After that, I wish that I could be perhaps a journalist, a columnist, or anything that I would be able to write and influence people. A society that is not focused on material gains. And I hope that the youth in our country would wake up and look at the world at its most real. I want a Malaysia to work for betterment and not settle at a comfortable zone all the time. Contribute to society because the society has given us a lot. We all owe the society one, and we should always serve the society in one way or another.
Our third nominee for tonight is Sarah binti Zainal Abidin, better known as Zay. She's a recording artist who has an album out called Shameless.
I was in the pre-teens, I think. I became very insecure. Perhaps for the reason of my skin color, but it was really quite bad for me because I just break down sometimes. A friend of mine, her name is Lanchia. We got really close, and she's like one of those very popular girls in school, and really brought up my confidence. And that's when I changed. I even dreamt that I died, and they say when you dream that you die, you're actually changing.
She's got very strong character. She's not afraid, never afraid of approaching anyone at all.
Because I wrote the song Too Sexy, especially actually it's like sexy as in not sexy taking your clothes off. Sexy as in confident, that's how somebody appears sexy, not just by So my image of like probably the best day of my life would probably be just standing on stage and all these people just singing my song to me right back. Oh, that would be.
She's very hardworking and very determined.
I tell myself not to become the victim. Be like, oh, why is this happening to me? Kind of thing. When you can actually do something about it. Besides actually doing hopefully a few more albums, I would love to have my own clothing line.
Wow,
Because I
so
love
you do
fashion.
fashion as well.
Yeah, me and my sister were busy, so Malaysia without racism, just being Malaysians, one sweet day hopefully when we can actually accept each other's differences. I want to tell them that they should really stand for what they believe in. Don't be afraid to have a dream, because having a dream means that you are a living person. You're not. If you don't have a dream, you're just as good as a dead person, really, because you're not living and not fighting for something.
Our next nominee is Sulin, 24-year-old manager of a family-run cafe.
When it was my turn to go and study, it was during the 1997 financial crisis. The economy was bad and my dad was hit.
She had displayed that kind of responsibility since young.
So I just didn't have the heart to study, and at that time my siblings were all still very young.
Always have that sense of purpose, that responsibility, that majority, the job has to be done, whether it's 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or know how tired she is.
Now, because my mom just became a single mother, and also the responsibility of bringing the younger ones up, it really pushes me.
And she knows that she has to sacrifice, means she sacrifices. She don't wait for others to, take over the duty. She just said, there's need to be done, there's a job to be done, she just do it.
Maybe if the restaurant is stable, I'll bring my whole family out for a holiday first. We really need a break since 7 years, non. I think because there are plenty of single parents, I just hope that there are maybe a support group who will come and provide encouragement, friendship. I really appreciate it if youth could be more understanding, and also to be more responsible. Like when problems come, they should learn to tackle the problems, not leave it to mom or leave it to sister or that kind of thing. And I hope that they'll have a more caring heart. A lot of people are selfish these days. They just think about themselves. But learn to care, learn to share, because we need each other in life.
Next up is Jennifer. She's a graphic design student and many of her friends know her as Mother.
The term mother actually, I guess it came out because of me always wanting to make sure everybody's comfortable, everybody is good. One of it is probably because my time doing this thing is just doesn't take like 1 minute, 2 minutes. It's different. It's a relationship. It's a communication kind of thing.
She had that grit and determination. Beyond all that, she has a compassion.
People who actually you help them, they go through it, and later they actually turn back again and step back into the same hole, that kind of thing. It's a way sometimes it's discouraging because it's being repeated over and over again. Myself, well, the reason I am now, I am because people actually take time. People actually take time to actually spend time with me, and also people actually take time to find out what's wrong with me. And when I just do something whenever I was very, very, very tired,
I was there the whole day and I didn't have transport back.
I just do that simple thing, and then later
The first person that I text a message to is Jen.
I find out that, oh, because of the one simple thing I did, oh, something came out of it, that kind of thing.
When she texted back and said somehow she wasn't, and she put a note to say, if you can't get anyone, call me back again.
Whatever I can do now, I hope to use it so that I can help other people.
Yeah, she doesn't give you the second best, but she gives you the best.
Especially to guide the younger ones that I know. I would actually like to see Malaysian that they will grow up to be a generation that is radical compared to the now, because we see so many social problems. Work hard to achieve what you're doing in your studies and everything, but don't forget about your own values also, your own attitude.
Just being her, being a person that she is, always caring, I think that got her where she is.
Last but not least, we have John Ling. He's a young author with a message.
To make a difference. Yeah, you see something wrong with the world and you want to make a difference. My dad. Yeah, because my dad is always, he's very, very concerned about social issues. Okay, well, ever since I was a child, I always wanted to write.
But he was very determined. In fact, I was discouraging him.
Basically, I've written 5 books to date and numerous short stories.
But looking back the years, he had proven me wrong.
And some people might know me actually more from my blogathon activities, where I blog to raise funds.
He's doing both well academically in university as well as pursuing what he loved to do.
When I was a child, I saw this documentary, and I'll never forget all those images of those frozen bodies, and they were all women and children, and that really stunned me, and I moved to switch off the documentary. But before I did that, this voice came on, said, "Dear viewer, if you're thinking of switching to another channel, please don't. Have some pity for the people in Sarajevo. You owe it to yourselves to see what is happening over there." And that really hit me, and I was thinking, wow, I want to have that sort of impact. Funnily enough, the criticisms, they're saying Malaysians are not ready for this. Malaysians are not interested. Malaysians are not going to accept something like this.
Yeah, even like for family members, he say, he wants to be a writer, but he writes books. Can cari makan.
So I just want to go ahead and sort of like prove a point that we Malaysians are ready. Well, at this point, I'm just an independent author, promoting my own work. But at the moment, I'm writing a new thriller, which I hope, to make a breakthrough either in New York or London, because those are the publishing capitals of the world. Probably going out, exposing myself more, and possibly bringing all these ideas back to Malaysia. A country that supports self-starters, that supports entrepreneurs, scientists, innovators, because we need that to be a developed country.
If he can do it, others can do it too. And he shares his knowledge freely with all his friends and with his fellow writers.
Sometimes you see that you're second class compared to your parents. You do whatever your parents say, but actually in the context of the world, you're a world citizen. So the world is your oyster. You can do whatever, dream big and work towards it. You never know where you can go. So that's about it.